Whole story. We always talk about when you're writing the story of your own life, never allow another man to hold the pen. Period. We have a gap to close. And here's the real stat for you. We've got 12 consecutive division game losses. We've been outscored by our opponent 358 to 158. That's 16.6 per game. We have a gap to close. All right, showing up is the first step. Showing up is the first step, guys. How we grow and how we close that gap is going to depend on every person in this room, including me, myself. You guys feel me on that? That's real. 12 losses. That ain't for that ends this year. Whole story. We always talk about.
And there he is. Those are the lovely pipes of one Jets head coach Robert Saleh talking about the AFC East drought that existed here on One Jets Drive. And I said existed because it no longer does, because the New York Jets got the dub. Hey, everybody, my name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. And I'd like to remind all of you that we are here live on the Jets post-game show, and we're streaming live simultaneously in 3 different places. The Heavy on Jets Facebook page. Make sure you guys go check it out. We got articles already up, of course, on the game. Updates on injuries, memes, jokes, and all that fun jazz. 20,000 New York Jets fans over there. Of course, we're on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/boygreen25. And like the video, hit subscribe down below for more New York Jets content. And the vibes are real. We're shaking the shoulders. We're doing a little bit of a shimmy, baby, because the Jets got the W. We'll be talking all about it here live with each and every one of you. And finally, we're streaming live on my Twitter account, at BoyGreen25, or wherever you're watching, folks. I'd like to remind you, this is a show that involves the listeners. It engages you guys. So if you guys got questions, comments, topics, or quite frankly, you just want to scream virtually at the top of your lungs, we'll share all of that here on the show. And you just heard it there from Robert Saleh. There is no better way to start this post-game show than celebrating the end of an embarrassing drought. Now, I think a lot of players have handled it after the game the right way, saying, that drought meant nothing to us. We weren't here when all that was happening over the last couple of years, but I think it meant something tremendous for the fans, because what this season has been about is about checking the proverbial bucket list. The first September win in a bunch of years. The first, over 500 at this late in the season for the first time in 5 years. The highest score output today in over 4 years. And then, of course, as we just mentioned, in the AFC East, inside your own division, those were words by Robert Saleh that you heard to start off the show. In case you missed it, you guys can rewind it. But those are the words of Robert Saleh to his team at the beginning of the offseason on the importance of winning the divisional games and why they count more. And quite frankly, the long and embarrassing history of the Jets, who had lost 12 straight consecutive divisional games, being swept by every opponent over the last 2 years. And with that margin of defeat being 16 plus points per game. So the Jets have been absolutely slapped around prior to today of that loss, and now it's over. It is monkeys getting off the back. The Jets did it with the September win. They're over 500 at this point in the season. That hasn't happened in a bunch of years, and now they are 1-0 in the division with 2 more left in the first half, quote-unquote, of the season. You'll get New England at home. You will get Buffalo at home, and let's just see what happens. This Jets team, baby, is 3-2, and it feels juicy. And I got to tell you, man, it feels exciting. I got to be honest. Long day for me personally. I just drove up from Massachusetts, and I'll tell you guys a quick story real quick. So I'm at the Massachusetts State Fair, and I call it that. That just makes it easier for everyone. It's really called like the Topsfield Fair or something, but it's a Massachusetts State Fair, and I go there with my family, who are all from New England, my fiance's family and everything, and it felt good. I'm going to be honest. I wear my Jets gear no matter what, but it felt good. Having a little pep in my step. This is before the Dolphins game. Obviously, it was late last night. And we're at this fair, and I'm wearing the full Jets gear. I hear all these Patriot fans chirp, 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 talking a lot of BS. And it felt so good to say this because I've never been able to say this before. I said, shut your last place AFC ass up, because guess what? The Jets are above you. So shut up. 4th place. A whole lot of nothing. So shut your damn mouth. And all of them just went, and that's all they could say. A whole lot of nothing, because the Jets were above them in the standings. And guess what? They still are after the Jets kicked the absolute living crap out of the Miami Dolphins 40-17. What a beatdown. And it felt good. It felt juicy as they were adding up the points. I was like, oh yeah, give it to them. Nice. Do this and that, and a lot of complimentary football. We're going to get into all that here on the program. So first off, welcome everybody to the show. We do this post-game show about 2 hours after every game. It lets things settle down, get us some quotes, stats, and all kinds of other things, because I'm going to be honest, I used to do this post-game show live right after the game. There was just a whole lot of yelling going on, a lot of, can you believe this? Unbelievable. So it's good to have this new approach, and I like the new schedule. Let's welcome in a bunch of you in. We got Robert S. on the old YouTube. What's up, fellas? We're feeling phenomenal. How could we not? Robert, welcome. Braden NCL, yeah, big win, buddy. Edge of my seat, my voice hurts. Let's effing go. And I will say this, Braden, and I did a video actually on this with Buffalo earlier in the week. I think that was Wednesday night. That was my last video before I went on my mini vacation. And I have to say that this upcoming game against the Dolphins was a season-defining game. And it absolutely is, whether win or loss. I said that. So not to give it more hype than is necessary, but with the 0-12 drought, with this Dolphins team coming in and all of the stuff where you had the opportunity to beat this Dolphins team, we already knew their starting quarterback wasn't going to be there. And again, on the first play of the game for the Dolphins, Teddy Bridgewater gets hit both with the concussion and on the elbow. Boom, out for the game. And some guy named Skylar Thompson, was that his name? I don't even know what the guy's name was. What was it? Yeah, Skylar Thompson. That apparently was his name coming in there. And this was a win that, again, I said was season-defining before going in. And then in the middle of the game, I said, oh, man, the Jets got to win this game. Some no-name, third-string-looking quarterback coming in here trying to beat the New York Jets in MetLife Stadium? I think not, brother. I'm sorry. This ain't going to be no history where this third string comes in and saves the day, rallies the troop for the fish. I think not, pal. And the Jets eventually flex their muscles. But I'm going to be honest, got a little dicey there for a while with some third string being able to get a little, again, a couple of defensive passing interference that were a little questionable, helped move the field a little bit, but good decisions by the Dolphins to kind of chuck it deep and try to draw some stuff and make some things happen. Now, eventually the Jets made them pay for that, but that helped get the ball moving a little bit, which was a little frustrating early on. But I got to tell you that it felt good walking around in my jet skier, which I walk in no matter what, but giving that to the Massachusetts people last night, and all they could do was shut up. And then I drove in this morning, got in right before kickoff here at the home base, and it was spectacular. Manuel Rodriguez, JETS, Jets, great win. And not only ending the drought, but doing it emphatically with the exclamation point. Ooh, yeah, that felt good. The only thing that could have been better, and we'll see when the Jets play the Patriots, is running it up on the Patriots. Now, that would be juicy. But, of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's enjoy this win. Let's bask in it before we turn the page. We will do that by the end of this thing for sure. Another JETS chant. JW, welcome, man. Braden NCL, Brees. Oh man, let's go there. Great place to go, Braden. Brees Hall was spectacular. He had 97 yards, 18 carries, 5.4 per clip, and the touchdown, which finally, because he had gotten to the doorstep twice and got denied, which should have been two more touchdowns on top of that one. He also got 2 catches for 100 yards. Brilliant. Of course, the long one was 79 yards. Both of actually his receptions should have been touchdowns. That would have been 2 more passing touchdowns for old Zach Wilson. So 197 scrimmage yards for old Brees Hall. Again, he was spectacular. And we saw it last week, and this was more of a coming out party. Now, we got the long reception, but I'm waiting for like the 80-yard break it touchdown run, which, by the way, is coming. Not a prediction. That's a spoiler alert. Just keep that in the back of your mind, folks. But, yeah, Brees was spectacular. And this is why, and, it took a little longer than I would have thought, but this is why I give Brees the ball. He's just super effective. And Michael Carter obviously had his runs where he made some things happen. Not nearly as effective. He did vulture, for all you fantasy people, a couple of touchdowns from old Brees. But it was nice for him to deliver in that way. And, again, I think the Jets can continue to run the ball more. Brees is a beast. And perhaps he just got the offensive rookie of the week belt last week. Could be looking for a discount double check, which is a nice little look ahead, perhaps, to the Jets' next opponent. But Brees could be looking for that second belt, especially after that performance. I would imagine he is. Robert S. Brees, the beast, you bet. Jin Pak, hey, Paul, what's popping? Love it. Also, guys, here is another reminder. If you're watching on the old YouTube, feel free to support the show. You can do that with a YouTube super chat where you'll throw a little change in my tin cup. And, of course, I'll give you a shout out here on the show. I try to answer all your comments, but I see they're rushing in here, so I don't want to miss anybody, but that guarantees that your question gets answered. So just keep that in mind as well, and we appreciate it. Let's see. Jay Spector had my doubts early third, but the boys did it and buried this team at the end. Yeah, certainly. There was a couple of questionable moments there where the Dolphins, again, they were benefited with some penalty action, and the Jets defense stepped up when it mattered most. Again, there were some issues where I'm like, man, this Jets defense against this third string quarterbacks just got to flex their muscles and make things happen. And ultimately they did. The Carl Lawson strip sack, the Sauce pick, first one for old Sauce. And here's the stat, by the way. I had this earlier. The Jets had 7 interceptions in all of 2021. Through 5 games, they have 7 picks. Naturally, the bounce of the oblong-shaped football was eventually going to bounce the Jets' way, and wow, the investments in the secondary have paid off tremendously, of course. We mentioned LaMarcus Joyner last week, Jordan Whitehead, Sauce, DJ Reed. These guys are making plays. They're creating short fields for the offense, and that is sustainable success, is creating these turnovers and wreaking havoc. 7 picks in all of 2021, the entire year. Through the first 5 games of the season, they've already matched that total with 12 games to go. Let's ride, baby. I mean, that's just beautiful. What a spectacular statistic. And so, again, the defense ends up closing them out and providing short fields for the offense, which they cash in. Again, the Braxton touchdown, the Brees touchdown. He really poured on, which, again, just felt good because Jet fans have not been able to enjoy that enough. And Franco on YouTube, it says the same thing. It feels so good to actually win a game by double digits. Yet not on the edge of your seat. Maybe this, maybe that. Especially specifically within the realm and scope of this season, Franco, where the 2 wins the Jets had prior to this were miraculous comebacks. The Browns more miraculous than Pittsburgh, obviously. But coming back and doing that, instead, the Jets just laying the hammer on a team that, sure, there were injuries. And I want to take one moment just to say this. For any Miami Dolphins fan, for any NFL fan that you get in your mentions today, tomorrow, or this week, well, the Dolphins had injuries. Tell them with a stern voice to shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. That's my advice to each and every one of you. And why? How many people were pulling out the violins when the Jets had injuries? How many last year? How many people were saying, oh, well, Carl Lawson's out? No, they said the Jets suck. You fans suck. This team sucks. You suck. That's what people said to you last year. Now they're going to turn around and say, well, the Dolphins had injuries. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Because I don't care. Because guess what? We're eating the W. So just eat the L and shut up. Shut up, Dolphins fans. Shut up, NFL fans. I don't give a flying hoot. Guess what? We're on cloud 9. Winners of 2 in a row. 1-0 in the division. I don't care if your your grandma was playing quarterback. Don't matter. I don't care who's playing because we don't pick how the injuries happen. I never want to see injuries, and you guys will know this because, of course, on the videos you guys see here on Heavy on Jets, I also have regular videos out on my YouTube channel, which again, youtube.com/boygreen25, and we have an expert from the opponent join us every week. And I tell them every single time on these shows, I don't want you guys to get injured. I don't want us to get injured. It's a virtual handshake. I hope no injuries happen because we don't want injuries. I don't root for that. However, I'm not God. I don't pick what injuries happen to who. You just got to line them up, man. And the Jets know better than anybody that they've been snake bitten with injuries, specifically on the offensive line. Dwayne Brown, Max Mitchell, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And Max Mitchell, by the way, slapped on IR. So he's out for 3 more games, not including this one, because including this one, excuse me. So he's got 3 more on top of this one that already counted. So we got people on IR all over the place. How many people are crying about the gosh darn New York Jets? They have some offensive line injuries. No one's saying that. They're just saying, hey, if we beat the Jets, we beat the Jets. We don't care about their injuries. So why the hell is now everyone carrying on the injuries on the other side, trying to denigrate, trying to marginalize what the Jets just did? Guess what? We slapped the fish in the head, squished the fish. Guess what? Sucks to suck, pal. I'm not crying any rivers. I'm not pulling out any violins. And guess what? That's not going to take away from my victory Monday tomorrow. Hell no, baby. Hell no. I don't care about your injuries. They don't matter. The NFL fans that are in, all you Jet fans, enjoy this. Bask it in. Dwarf it in for me. Yeah. What's that smell? Victory, baby. No, wait, there's more. 2 in a row. No, wait. 1-0 in the division. Yeah. I want all the Dolphins whining. I want all the NFL fans whining. You want to know why? Because I want to drink those tears. Tasty. It's good. Yeah. I love it. Send them all this way. DM me. I'll give you my address. I'd love you to send them right down because guess what? They are tasty. They're delicious, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So you know what? They can whine. They can complain. It don't matter. Don't care. Check the scoreboard, pal. Dolphins fans, we on the check the scoreboard. Huh? Check the record. Check the standings. What Bill Parcells say? You are what your record says you are. Over 500 team. 3-2. Undefeated in the division. Looks pretty good to me. Zach Wilson. 2-0. So that also may come up. Let's bring up the Zach Wilson aspect of this, where I had one fan already tell us on our Facebook page, Zach Wilson, not that impressive. By the way, let's read through Zach Wilson's statistics. 66% completion percentage. He was 14 of 21. 210 yards passing. 10 yards per clip on the attempts. He had no turnovers in this game. A 99.3 QBR. And, of course, he had the rushing touchdown, which made us all go, Zach, that was cool, but never do that again. You understand me, boy? So let's make sure that's clear. So I want to mention to all the people that are apparently complaining about Zach Wilson's stats not being as impressive. Again, the stat that I like, 40-17, that's a win. And secondly, it was kind of the luck of the draw. And really, Zach Wilson actually got hurt by this in his rookie year. For those who want to dig into the advanced analytics, twice, Breece Hall had touchdowns, and he fell at the 1-yard line. Michael Carter converted both of those on 1-yard rushes. So Michael Carter gets his fantasy stats, and people go, so Zach Wilson only had a rushing touchdown. Not that impressive. The rest of the team did it. Well, actually, if you really look at it, they fell at the 1-yard line, which would have looked more impressive after the fact. So I digress on all the Zach Wilson haters out there. Again, he did what he needed to do. When the Jets needed to throw, Zach Wilson delivered. And that's what we want from the quarterback. He has to do. Every game's going to be different. You have to adapt or die. Okay? That's a line from Moneyball. You adapt or you die. The Jets needed Zach Wilson to do exactly what he did. Defense ended up making plays. Breece Hall going crazy. Okay. We get a dramatic, emphatic win. Phenomenal. There's going to be a time where Zach Wilson's going to be called upon to start ripping it and slinging it all over the ball yard. We'll judge him based off of that. However, he did what he had to do. So tell all those fans to shut the hell up. I just want to make that perfectly clear. Thank you very much. Let's go. Jin Pak, NFL take notice. Jets. Jets only have one primetime game on the schedule. That is later this season. Week 16, I believe, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Perhaps more could be coming with the Jets train. Toot. If they don't, they'll certainly be there next year. So, again, you got to prove yourself. I love it. Back to Braden. Quentin Williams getting double team, picks up the loose ball and puts Hill on his arse. Priceless. Oh, that was juicy. I mean, that was absolutely spectacular. So let's pull that up. I'll throw that up on the big board here. I also want to get to Zach Wilson's message as well. That really just kind of got my engine revving for certain. But yeah, let's pull up the Quentin Williams giving Tyreek Hill the business. I think all of us, there was, of course, a storyline this week with Tyreek Hill and how he chose the Dolphins over the Jets and all that malarkey. But I just got to say, is that Tyreek Hill getting the business from Quentin Williams. I'm going to throw that up on your big screen here, people. For those who may have missed it, it was juicy. And shout out to the New York Jets, by the way, for sharing this one. Look at this. Hey, Quentin Williams picks up the fumble after Carl Lawson strip sack. Hey, Tyreek Hill, sit down, boy. Bah, bah, bah. Little stiff arm action. Here, sucker. Yeah, a little bit of that action. Yeah, Tyreek, why don't you take a seat, pal? Boom. I can't see that enough. That's juicy. Yeah, Tyreek Hill. Yeah, why don't you take a seat, pal? Why don't you take a seat? Why don't we blow that up on the screen so you guys can fully appreciate it? Yeah, a little bit of that.
And then the big man went.
Nice.
And then the big man went.
It's like, and it's funny because it's like all the anger from Jet fans of just all like unleashing in that stiff arm, which was nice. It was very nice. And by the way, old DJ Reed and Sauce Island. I normally don't like saying that because, again, there's only one island. We all know that it is Darrelle Revis, of course. But Tyreek Hill, 7 catches, 47 yards, 6.7 per clip, 7 targets, and all short stuff. Jalen Waddle, 3 catches, 23 yards. Who are all these dynamic receivers that went for over 300 yards? And then they're going to say, well, the quarterback. Wah. Guess what? Lockdown, shutdown. That's just how it works, baby. And I will say real quick on Quinnen, third straight game with a sack. He's playing dominant football. He's been spectacular. He's disrupting. He's creating opportunities for his other teammates, and you just got to love to see it. So Quinnen is absolutely friggin' balling. So you just love to see it. So that is awesome. Just awesome. Jay Spector, love the win, but need to stop the run. Too many big plays for Mostert. Yeah, I think the frustrating thing for me, Jay, and basically the entire game, because Teddy gets hurt on the first offensive play for Teddy Bridgewater. When you have again, this is what I would do. And ultimately the Jets did this, but you put 12 guys in the box. I'm aware only 11 guys are on the field, people. It's just for emphasis. I would put 12 guys in the box and blitz Skylar Thompson almost every play. This is what I said, like at the beginning of the game. Like I know normally just 4-man rush. No, I'm blitzing his ass all day long, and he's going to get the business, and he's either going to beat me or he's not. And that was a frustrating thing, that when the Jets knew that they were just running the football and doing short stuff, Raheem Mostert got his first career 100-yard rushing performance of his career, and that's annoying. Like, no, dude. Like, first off, the Jets' run defense is markedly improved from last year. Not that that's saying much because they were terrible last year, but like, that's all they're doing, and they were still like kind of giving you the business. That's why there's some criticism on them on Twitter. Like, boy, strap up. Where is your pride? Where is your dignity? And so, yeah, that was a little frustrating, but that's something they can work on. Green Bay is going to be a great challenge next week. Everyone talks about Aaron Rodgers and this guy and that guy. The running game is what you got to watch out for. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. That's some juice coming in the running game. So it's going to be a dynamic offense. It doesn't have a Devontae Adams to cover from a receiver perspective. However, the running game and Aaron Rodgers' just magic ability, that's going to be something to key in on. So running game for sure has to lock down. Let's see. Jinpak, my son said, how long for a sure win so early in the game? Decades? I can't remember the last one that mattered. Like, I remember, I don't know, because there was like a couple years ago, this was a couple years ago, Jets Cardinals, Brett Favre with the 6 touchdown passes. That one, they were kind of giving them the business. They made a kind of a comeback late in the half. But those AFC championship runs, I remember they blew up the Rams like 47-3 or something. So there's been a couple of those, but like, and again, a decent opponent. Like, even with the Dolphins injuries, like, they came in 3-1. Like, this Dolphins team was expected to win. They were favored to win. So it had been a long time, though. Guys, why don't we get to this? I want to make sure that we get to this here on the show. I'll keep getting to all your comments, and we'll get to all the other points. Something that stood out to me, and it's an article right now on the Heavy on Jets page, is Zach Wilson sending a very clear and a very strong message to everybody on the expectations at One Jets Drive, that I think were really some swag was happening here. Here's Zach Wilson, a quick clip after the game on the win.
I'd say so. I'd say, the expectation is just, it's changing. We're expected to come in here and win, and we're expected, to win, be shocked when we don't, and that's how the mindset needs to be for everybody.
And yeah, let me play it again for
you.
you.
I'd say, the expectation is just, it's changing. We're expected to come in here and win, and we're expected, to win. Be shocked when we don't. And that's how the mindset needs to be for everybody.
Yeah, because it's a great point by old Zach Wilson here. Because too often in Jets land, right? Again, first off, Jets having success and then responding to success and putting 2 wins together. This is the first time the Jets have had back-to-back wins since 2020. One of the big things here is what Zach Wilson just said. We expect to win, and when we don't, that's when people are shocked. So instead of this perception from the outside, like, wow, maybe the Jets are something this year, they're like, we know we're something inside this building, and we're going to remind each and every one of you every day. That's a swag I like seeing from the quarterback, who is confident in himself. He's confident in this team. And again, I think they're ready to shock some people. I said it before the year, and you guys can freezing cold take me. I have this Jets team going 9-8. Now, all of a sudden, you look at the schedule coming up. I don't want to get too crazy here because, again, I want to enjoy this game. But you look ahead to Green Bay. That one does not look as daunting as people said before the year. Remember, the last 2 weeks for Green Bay, they were pushed to overtime by the Patriots' third-string quarterback in Lambeau. Yikes. They barely squeaked out with the win. The Patriots should have won, plain and simple. Now, the Packers got away. They got the win. That was one scare, right? Checks notes, they lost to the New York Giants in London. They lost to New York Giants in London. Now, you could call it the international thing, but guess what? The Giants had to travel too. The Giants beat the Packers. The Jets are now going to Lambeau, where the Patriots' third-string backup just nearly beat them 2 weeks ago. This is not your granddaddy's Packers, baby. This is a game that all of a sudden you say, that looks a little different. The game after that, road trip to Denver. While I know Denver took care of the Jets' business last year with Teddy Bridgewater, by the way, 26-0. I mean, who's the better Wilson, right? Wink. It's Zach Wilson, for those who are curious. But I mean, come on, people. You're afraid of the Denver Broncos? Hell no. Now, so all of a sudden, those are the two, like, quote-unquote, impossible games. And then you have the home game against New England. Let's see what's happening with Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi or Brian Hoyer or the ghost of Tom Brady. We'll check on that. And then the Buffalo Bills, obviously, are really good. They're spectacular. And we'll see. So that's a real tough game. But all of a sudden, you look at the schedule, you're like, can we get to 5? Like, before, I'll tell you, back in May, when I looked at the schedule, I said the key for the New York Jets is 5-4, 4-5, getting in that range, okay? Getting in that range ahead of the bye. Heading into the second half of the season where we talked about some of those opponents, Jaguars, Bears, Lions, and some of those kind of teams where you're like, could you see the path? And there's more than that, but see Seahawks with Geno Smith, battle of former Jets quarterbacks and all that fun jazz later in the season. But all of a sudden you get to 5-4, 4-5, and then you look at that schedule and you're like, maybe we got a chance to make something happen. I think that's the key to it all. By the way, everybody, another reminder, no matter where you're watching, this is an interactive show. So feel free to jump into the comments, thumbs up on the video, hit subscribe down below. We'll keep getting to all your wonderful stuff. And here on the program, this is an exciting time, Jet fans. The Jets got the dub. They're 3-2, 1-0 in the division. These are happy times, baby. And I am thoroughly enjoying it. And we got a lot of other nuggets to get to as well. Let's keep going here. Robert on Facebook. Bianchi, what a game. Yeah, it was spectacular. And shout out to all the Jet fans. That's beautiful. Shout out to all the Jet fans that were there. Dark Soldier, a good loyal listener and viewer. Carew. Yes, sir. Let's ride, baby. Oh, yeah. I am jazzed right now. This is fantastic. And Jin Pak, this game could have been a Debbie Downer. The team said no way, 100%. And historically speaking, my old Jin Pak friend, it has been. Look at the season so far. It had been win, loss, or vice versa. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, boy, what's happening here then? Win, win. Whoa, okay. Because, again, they've rode this emotional roller coaster, but not this time. No, sir. Let's go to Chris K. the 5th on YouTube. And this, by the way, real quick, is another shout out, is a YouTube super chat. If you like what you're seeing, if you want to support the channel, if you like me, you hate me, either way, I don't discriminate. Whatever way, feel free to do a YouTube super chat on YouTube. A different colored chat here, and guarantees your comment gets answered here on the show. So throw it into the tin jar. Chris K, a huge supporter. Let's go. 31-17 Jets was my prediction. Even better. Chris, I'll give you credit. I think that's the most juiciest prediction that I've seen before a game of it. Like, most people had like 27-24 Jets or Dolphins. Like, it was close. Like, you having the 2-touchdown win, Chris. Whoop. Tip of the cap, buddy. More power to you. I did not see that coming. I think my prediction was Jets. I don't know. It was actually in our article. I predicted the Jets would win. I think it was by like 5 or something. So I was not as emphatic as you, Chris. So you beat me there, pal. Congratulations. William on Facebook. Really exciting time seeing all these pieces coming together. The ceiling is high with this group. And Chris, by the way, thank you so much for supporting it. You know that means the world to me, man. So thank you so much. William, really exciting seeing all these pieces come together. Yeah, the young guys is really exciting for me, William. Again, you see guys like Jermaine Johnson. And quick update on Jermaine, by the way. He had to be carted off the field, which is unfortunate. He had an ankle injury. We'll get a full update from Robert Saleh tomorrow. But ankle injury there for Jermaine Johnson. He did send out after the game that he's good and great for the team win. But he was spotted in a walking boot in the locker room. So some questions there on Jermaine, which is really sad. Good that the Jets have great defensive line depth, but you hate to see a guy like that. You need all the help you could get to do all the things you love to do. So, but William loves in the young guys. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, even though he's been, kind of, marginalized somewhat, for lack of a better word, the last 2 weeks, he's going to have his game back. And so is Elijah Moore, who, again, continues to kind of be MIA, which is strange, but he's going to have his game too. But again, you win Tyler Conklin, who's been a beast, a big, I think he had a 0 burger on the board. So again, things can kind of change there, but appreciate it there, William. Go to Tony here. Let's go, Boy Green. Love your content. Keep up the great work. Amazing, JETS, and the home of the Jets. Of course, let's make sure we play that again. This is something we're trying to get back into circulation. For old school Jet fans, you're going to know this intimately well. But this is something we're trying to speak back into existence if we can. So we're going to throw this up on the big board. This is what the Jets used to do after every win. They would sing this little song here. Let's throw it up on the board. And Tony, thank you so much for being responsible for the reason that we're throwing this up. And let's play it. I'm going to post it after every Jets win. Here we go. And this one just felt so good, baby. It felt so good. It was juicy. So thank you, my man, Tony, for that. And the home of the Jets, baby. Yes. Let's bring it back. Just the Jets on 3. 1, 2, 3 Jets. It's kind of lethargic. Like let's get a little juice. Let's get a little chutzpah. Let's get a little energy flowing, like holy cannoli. We just won a friggin' game, man. And we just won 2 in a row. Like, let's get the energy flowing. I know that Zach Wilson says, hey, pass the biscuits, just one game. Let's keep it moving. But for us fans, we have the benefit of enjoying these wins a little bit longer. So, Tony, I'd love to see him. Thank you so much for the support, pal. Appreciate you. Let's keep going here. Hawk. We didn't just squish the fish. We took that dead fish, then yeeted its carcass into the ocean. That's right, and it felt good. And that was juicy. Jen Pock, let's call Stephen A. Smith and Brady and laugh and hang up. Which, by the way, you guys could check my receipt collections last week. It's on my YouTube channel. You guys could check it out where we cash in some receipts on Stephen A. Smith and Brady Quinn. Again, youtube.com/boygreen25. And feel free to grab that video and tweet it at them. And let's ride, baby, which felt good last week, and we can continue to rub it in their face. What a horrible, horrible thing. Stephen A. Smith just saying the Jets stink. Again, that old narrative, nothing really there. And then Brady Quinn saying, oh, man, the Jets could start 0-9 this year. Really, Brady? 0-9. 3-2. So shut up, Brady Quinn. Former Jets quarterback Brady Quinn. DMAR Z45, offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year, both will be on the Jets. And I'll give a shout out to Jay Croucher. He's another guy I've been collecting some receipts on, but he's welcome back to the family. He tweeted that out today, and I love it. Barney Miller, 15-2, hashtag why not? Barney, I love the cut of your jib, pal. And honestly, why not, baby? The Jets should have all the optimism in the world, Barney, because let's be real here. Okay, no one thought the Jets would be here. People said, and that's why I cashed in the receipt on old Brady Quinn, 0-4 in the AFC North, 1-8, maybe 0-9. Like, shut up, Brady. So they could do a lot of stuff, and they have. Let's go to Jedi Knight. How about our special teams? Braden Mann, the return and redemption of Braden Mann has been spectacular. And this is why us fans don't make these roster decisions. We simply respond and react to them. Remember, Braden Mann, we're like, dude, got to cut this dude. This guy sucks. Like, you got to move on. Or Greg Zuerlein, like, man, Jets kicker issues, but Greg Zuerlein's been a stud ever since. Braden Mann, all those coffin corner punts, which obviously set up the most pivotal play of the game to kick off and set the tone, which obviously changed the entire course of the game. Teddy Bridgewater, Sauce Gardner blitz, Robert Saleh talking after the game in the post-game presser saying we got the right call and really everything we were looking for to get a little aggressive. Again, normally the Jets' modus operandi is 4-man rush and play coverage. Situationally, of course, they're willing to get a little freaky. Now, normally that quote-unquote freakiness isn't until third down. So they ran it right off the get-go. Teddy Bridgewater with this kind of play-action play. Sauce Gardner comes up, hits him. Now, I kind of think the ball was loose anyway if you watch a replay. However, they throw the late flag, intentional grounding, safety. Teddy Bridgewater never plays another snap in the game, so we get this Skylar Thompson guy that no one's ever heard of, and then it changes the dynamic of the game. But 100%. So the special teams delivered. That doesn't happen without Braden Mann's assistance, the field goals, the PATs, Greg Zuerlein. So the special teams was spectacular, and the coverage on the other side. So the punt is good, but you need another guy to catch all those on the other side, and they certainly did. So rightfully said, Jedi Knight of the 13th Order of Gotham. What a phenomenal name. Yes, special teams. It was complimentary football, which I am unfamiliar with. Let's see. MM Morris receipts. You damn right, which was nice. Let's keep looking here. Historically, backup quarterbacks torches. Glad to see a change. 100%. Again, we've seen too many, which was great. Twisted on YouTube. I just want to see Waddle. And oh my goodness gracious. I just want to Waddle. Wow. Michael Carter with the Waddle. CBS with the nice troll job of playing the Waddle song on the way to break. Like, okay, CBS. Wink. I see you there. And they're all in their fields, which is amazing, which you love to see. So the Waddle was spectacular. Super spectacular. JE. The play calling at times is still questionable, especially that fourth down pass to Corey Davis on 4th and 1. Like, I mean, JE, you nailed it. What the hell? Like, okay, I will reiterate kind of what Joe Capros had said on Twitter, another good Jets content creator. I will reiterate what he said. I am never, if you want to be aggressive from midfield-ish and go for 4th downs, I'm all about it. I love the aggression. I love the belief in your team. So, again, from a decision perspective, going for it or not, like, go for it. Yes, let's get aggressive. However, where I start going like, not so sure, is the actual play call. Empty set, fade, comeback to Corey Davis. What the hell? What the hell? What are we doing out there, man? So some of those are really quite, and that obviously, remember, the Jets were only up 2 at that point. They turn it over. Miami, fortunately, misses the field goal, and then again, the entire dynamic of the game changes. So yeah, still a lot of questionable stuff happening there. Absolutely, no question about it. And wow, I believe I'm going to pull this up here. Let me find it real quick because we have hundreds of comments here, but I'm pretty sure we just got the biggest super chat in the history of my YouTube channel. And let me see if I can pull it up. Let me throw this one up. We had this one as well. Jim Pock, I love these Jet programs. And Jim Pock, I love it. Thank you guys so much for the support. And oh my goodness, this is the biggest super chat I've ever had. Abe Lab Studios with a 50 burger statement super chat for Statement Wing, Gang of New York. I nobody is really going to want this Jet smoke. Abe Lab, thank you so much. That is spectacular. Thank you guys. What if you guys ever love the content enough to give us any level of support for the channel, which again, I'm doing this from my own home studio here. And if you guys love what you're hearing and you want to support the good times, feel free to go to YouTube. It's the super chat in the bottom that's available. Abe Lab, thank you. Wowza. Zooey mama. I mean, whoa. Okay. I mean, this is the biggest one in history. So thank you so much, Abe Lab, for making history here. Thank you so much. That is so awfully generous of you. Thank you. And yes, a statement super chat for a statement win. This statement win by the New York Jets changes the entire dynamic of the New York Jets season. If they lose and go to 2-3, fall below 500, and then you have, as we talked about, the back-to-back road games at Green Bay, at Denver. While again, I think if you squint, you can see the issues. If you found a way to lose to the Dolphins with their backup quarterback, then how could you possibly convince yourself those two are going to start making the magic? So quite frankly, this just changes everything. It changes the national perspective. Go check out your NFL power rankings this week and see the love the Jets will get. Not only did they beat Miami, not only did they end the 0-12 drought, they absolutely thumped the gosh darn Miami Dolphins. I mean, they hit them with a gosh darn sledgehammer, and their little brain dolphin guts are spewing out all over the place, and people are still probably picking that up at MetLife Stadium with all the damage that the New York Jets just did to the Miami Dolphins, their entire organization. So, wow. I mean, an absolute statement win in a season-defining game. I said it earlier in the week, and I repeat it now, even with the win, that this alters the entire season. It alters expectations, and it alters the confidence in the room. When the Jets players in the locker room start going through these wins, the Browns game, coming back from an improbable thing that hasn't happened in 20 years, they believe. Number 2 against Pittsburgh, 4th quarter, your quarterback, not a backup quarterback, not Joe Flacco this time, your quarterback, down 10, 4th quarter, making money throws to win the game. The locker room is going to believe. Then you go to this game and you get a different flavor of victory where you win the game emphatically, and everybody is dancing and juicing around. This is a statement win, a statement victory. And quite frankly, as I said before, and you can't say enough, season altering for the New York gosh darn Jets. And I can't wait for that Green Bay game. And I will tell you guys, that's looking juicy. Now, I don't want to get too greedy. because before the year, I think a lot of us went, well, let's see what happens there. But there's a lot of connective tissue, of course. Robert Saleh, best friends with Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers head coach. His little brother, Mike LaFleur, is the offensive coordinator. So you got a lot of hoopla between the two organizations, and we will see, of course, what happens between these two teams. But I think it's time to rev up the engines, everybody, and I love it. And Abe Lab, thank you so much. That is spectacular. Thank you so much for that. That is that means the world to me, man. That means the world. So thank you so much for that support. That is beautiful. Absolute legend for that. And I'm seeing them all here. You're getting a lot of love, Abe Lab, and for good reason. See, Abe Lab, legend. Prayers up, Abe Lab. So thank you so much for that support. That super chat is spectacular. And you guys can see that in the chat as well as it's highlighted. Jet Central, let's go! Booyah! Oh, yeah, baby. That win. Juicy. And love the stream, man. Jet Central. Again, another great one. Jets content creator. He's spectacular. Also does weekly stuff with Buffalo Jet fan, baby. So, yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Let's go. I just love all the fans in here. I just got to say that. That is amazing. And Hawk, a good thing to bring up. AVT better be an all-pro. And I don't want even a position. Just put OL for the entire offensive line. What a dude, man. Let's give our roses not only to Abe Lab for their support on the show, which, by the way, we super appreciate, but also let's give our love. If we were going to give an Abe Lab Studios award, like an Abe Lab Studios MVP award in honor of his massive super chat, let's give that to an Abe Lab Studios MVP of the game. And the MVP is Elijah Vera Tucker. This dude was drafted to be a left guard. Then, because Laken Tomlinson comes in, he goes from left guard to right guard. Then, the left tackle injuries, he goes from right guard to left tackle. Dwayne Brown's off of IR, which, by the way, huge pleasant surprise, great to see him. He goes, okay, from left tackle to right tackle. This man is a gosh darn freak. He's played 3 different positions in 3 weeks. 3 different positions in 3 weeks. He said, he joked, AVT earlier this week, that the only offensive line positions he had not played in his life are center and right tackle. And he said, hopefully I could check those off the bucket list. Right tackle, check. Now center's all that's left. And hell, Robert Saleh joked after the game that maybe we're even going to throw him in at quarterback next week. I mean, shoot. I mean, who? Why not? I guess. Zach Wilson, move over. AVT's coming through. I mean, wow. I mean, holy cannoli. I mean, AVT is an absolute stud, man. What and where is the Seth Walders of the world? I don't know if it's worth a trade up of a 3rd round pick. Shut the hell up, man. I said it back then, and it only talk about those receipts being cashed seemingly on a gosh darn daily basis. So shut up, Seth Walder. Man, Elijah Vera Tucker is a freaking stud. I can't wait to give him a lifetime extension. When he's up, I'll be like, here's a 50-year deal. He's like, I'm gonna be dead in 50 years. That's not really true. I'm sure he's gonna live a long, healthy life. But 50-year extension. He's like, I don't know if I'm gonna play football that long. I don't care, AVT. We love you, man. 50-year extension. I'm gonna give this man whatever he wants. Elijah Vera Tucker, superstar. Wow. Wherever the team needs him. And you heard it earlier in the week, perhaps nuggets, breadcrumbs, if you chose to follow them for this game. Robert Saleh said we're going to play the best 5 on the offensive line, the best 5. And the best 5, they certainly did with Elijah Vera Tucker going to right tackle. Mainly because I'm sure we just didn't want to see any Connor McDermott, and I think that was pretty clear, but just special. Just special. AVT deserves all the roses, and that is our Abe Lab Studios MVP of the game, and deservedly so. Another super chat coming in from the great Chris K. the Fifth. Best thing about this one is it was not all about Wilson to make it happen. Feed the beast, baby. What a game. Much easier to play with the lead. Hashtag pound it. Take flight. And I want to say this, Chris K., and this is a reason not for criticism, my fellow Jets brothers and sisters, but it is a reason for optimism. Zach Wilson not lighting the world on fire. Again, he was just super efficient. 66% completion percentage, 210 yards, 10 yards ago. All that's juicy. All that's spectacular. All that's great. Enough to win the game and win the game handily. But I think the best part of all of this for me, Chris, and why it should be encouraging, not pessimism, not Zach Wilson didn't impress me. Like, okay, random Jets fan. No, what you should be saying is, wow, The Jets just won this game. Checks notes 40-17, and Zach Wilson didn't do crap. And then in other games this season, we're like, wow, this happened, but Garrett Wilson didn't go. Or, wow, this happened, and Breece Hall didn't go. Imagine when all of them are going. Imagine when all of those guys are firing on all cylinders. Holy cannoli. Move over, pal. Move over. Because we're going to absolutely pave the road with your body, with your soul. Because we haven't still had a game where everyone is firing on all cylinders. Zach Wilson is like lighting people up with bomb touchdowns, and Breece Hall is breaking that 80-yarder off, which again, I think is due to happen. I know he had the nice 70-plus yarder for the reception, but in the run game, he's going to break one. The defense, Carl Lawson's going to keep getting healthier. And by the way, Carl Lawson, welcome back, my man. He looks spectacular. Quinnen was and Sauce and DJ Reed are going crazy. Like, there's going to be games where they all go together, and that's where it's time to get buck wild, baby. That's where we start going like, okay, here we go. Again, that should be optimism, not pessimism from the Jet fans. I just think that should be clear. So, Chris K. the Fifth, thank you so much. I appreciate it, pal. You are a dude, man. You're a dude. Joe S. Zach looks much more comfortable. Yeah, there seems to be not only, and again, it goes beyond stats. That's why I say box score watching is not a great way to evaluate things. He just looks comfortable. He doesn't look skittish. He doesn't look nervous. He doesn't look scared. He's like, yeah, this is my team. Yeah, here's what I got to do. Throw. The couple of these throws, the Breece Hall throw, where he just throws it to him, hits him in stride. Let's go. Now, a couple of them, the receivers had to adjust. The Garrett Wilson one. I think it was a Corey Davis one near the red zone. Like a couple of them, they had to kind of twist around, and that's okay. But again, it's a symbiotic relationship. He throws you the ball, you catch the ball. Figure it out. And yeah, Zach looks a hella comfortable. He's looking good. You absolutely love to see it. Gin Pop. Quinnen said to Tyreek Hill, oh, you don't want to play here? Booyah! Take that. Bam. That's awesome. Jets are the new Bengals. I can only hope so. If we're in the Super Bowl, I will die. My soul will leave my body, and I will ascend to the high heavens. Whoo. I can't even imagine. That's great, though. Lauren James. Paul, we get all the fire together. We will break the Bills. Yeah, I would love it. I'd love for us to all gather the troops and kind of go buck wild on the Buffalo Bills. That'd be great. Again, that's coming up later this season. Buffalo will be favored, as they should be. Buffalo is a tremendous team, incredibly deep. And I think the Jets, I know the final scores don't always indicate that, but I will say that, I think the Jets and Bills have had these moments, even in this Josh Allen era, obviously, where it's more what I'm kind of talking about, is that, where I think something can happen there. I think that, quite frankly, that we shouldn't, let me put it this way, Lauren. There is no game where you should go, that's an L for the Jets. Like, no way they can win that game. When you have a quarterback, you can win any game. And quite frankly, Jet fans haven't known that in a long time. But when you do that, anything is possible. Anything is possible when you do that. When you put it all together, anything is possible. And when you have a quarterback, you go into any game and you can convince yourself you can win that game. So I'm not rolling over for anybody. So I just want to make that perfectly clear. Absolutely no one am I marking an L for the Jets. Hell no. They can win any game that they want to, and I feel confident about that. Ablab Studios, again, who's the real MVP? Ablab Studios. This one's for the chat, but I still want to throw it up on the big board for everybody to consider as kind of a question that you guys could get involved in the comments in. If the season ended today, who would be our all-pro selections? AVT, Quinnen, DJ Reed, Sauce, Breece, all of the above. Yeah, you start looking through some of these guys, and Breece is only going to continue to get some rock. AVT's one that deserves a lot of love, obviously. You go to the defensive side of the ball. Quinnen's been special. Carl Lawson, I think, is continuing to improve, but Sauce, DJ Reed for sure. The safeties, again, I got to give them a lot of credit. I didn't sense a lot of bad plays, and I'm going to have to get the whole rewatch to get a full experience for that. But yeah, the corners are playing spectacular. Carl Lawson, Quinnen Williams, Breece, Garrett Wilson's been really good, although, again, a couple of slow games here, but he's going to get better. Yeah, all of you guys, feel free to answer that. Again, thanks to Ablab Studios for sending in the love. Really appreciate that. So, guys, you guys can get that as well. But I think both corners. I think Zach Rosenblatt actually said that on the latest episode of the Can't Wait podcast. He believes actually both corners are Pro Bowlers so far this year. And, man, there's a lot of people who didn't think the Jets needed any corner help. Hey, Brandon Eccles, Bryce Hall, we're going to be good back there. And guess what? They were able to find a way themselves. So, Ablab, thank you so much. That's amazing. Guys, we've got another 10 minutes left. We go for an hour here on the post-game show. So if you got other comments, questions, super chats you'd like to throw in to get involved, Ablab's killing you here with all these. But I love it, and thank you so much. Anyone who can and has the funds, feel free to support. But even if you don't, there's a free way. All of you that are live in the chat right now can help. If you go over to youtube.com, we're streaming live right there right now on top of 2 other platforms. You can like the video. That's for free. And you can subscribe. That's for free. Anyone that can't afford it, of course, I always love your financial support for the show. It helps keep all these special things happening. The mic, the pop filters, and all the studio that we're able to bring to you guys and allow more content to be able to be given to each and every one of you. But a free way that you guys can all help, and it tremendously helps the channel, of course, is, again, liking the video and hitting subscribe down below. That is tremendous and absolutely free. So any way you guys can help, it always means the world to me. So I want to give each and every one of you a major shout out for that. If you can, I'd really appreciate it. I also do want to give a shout out to another sponsor that is able to make all this possible. And quite frankly, he's a fellow Jets fan. And I think that's what really kind of revs my engine, quite frankly, is that we're all supporting each other. So let's give a big shout out. You guys can read the information down in the description below. My good buddy Roshan Joshi. If you're curious about real estate or creating wealth through real estate or business, our friends at XV Community hold a free weekly Zoom call for the public with a different 7-figure earner on as a guest every week. You can connect with peers, learn from guests, and ask questions. Again, guys, this is free. I'm not asking you to sign up for anything and do anything crazy. Again, it is free. FREE. You can join. If you don't like it, you can hop out and never do it again. It's a free Zoom call. If you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. You can follow him on Instagram below, on YouTube. All the information is below. Again, Rojo Sharp on Instagram. Also, there is a sign-up link below for, again, a free weekly Zoom call where you guys can help out a fellow Jets fan himself and supporting him in that way. That would mean a lot. And let him know that Boy Green sent you. That would make the world continue to spin. I want to make sure we get to all our nuggets here. Also, any final questions here, feel free. I do want to give a shout out to Teddy Bridgewater in general. If you guys missed the clip, he said that the Jets saved his career. Remember, they signed him after his devastating leg injury from the Minnesota Vikings. He was on the team for a couple of months. They ended up flipping him for a 3rd-round pick. But he said that time with the Jets reinstilled the confidence in himself and saved his career. I know he didn't even get a pass attempt, or maybe I think they called it incomplete. So I guess technically he had an attempt, but obviously he didn't get a lot going in the game. But shout out to Teddy Bridgewater, who's a class act, an absolute A-plus human being. I want to say that. First off, I want to see more of this from Mike LaFleur. Michael Carter and Breece Hall on the field together. Those continue to result in dynamic plays. And as Robert Sauer said after the game, there's just so many different things you can do with it from a passing perspective, from a running perspective, and you really catch a defense off. And you have those nice flat patterns where you can send Breece Hall or Michael Carter in motion, and then you got to watch that. You got to watch the run inside. You got to watch your pass. A couple of times we had a little bit of that RPO action where Zach Wilson sends Breece Hall out, hikes the ball, fakes it inside to Michael Carter, and then takes those throws over the middle, which normally young quarterbacks are a little afraid to dive into the deep end of the pool with that. So I loved that from a lineup perspective. Wanted to throw that one out there. JFM with the tip of the cap on the sauce pick. Very nice. That pressure created that. I absolutely love that. Again, we talked about the Corey Davis 4th down throw. That is a no-no. Again, Michael LaFleur, get a little crazy. Like, make it simpler. Like, smash mouth football. Run it on 4th and short with Breece Hall. That would be an idea if you want to do it. But I thought some of that was a little crazy personally. And again, I think one of my main takeaways is Zach Wilson did what it takes to win the game. That's what he did. He did what it takes to win the game. And I think that's an important lesson for all of us, quite frankly. To keep in mind moving forward that, again, he did what he had to do to win the game, and I think that is the most important detail you could see from a young quarterback. Again, there are going to be games where certain things happen here or certain things happen there, but I think the key, again, is to allow them to do your quarterback to make it happen, and that is absolutely what Zach Wilson did. Let me go through a couple more final comments here before we sign off. Jose Garcia, most valuable position for old AVT. Joe C. Brees Hall will emerge as the number one back. I think we're already there, pal. I think we're already there. That would be brilliant. Sean Campbell, hey boy Green. I think we could be 4-2 after next week. I believe we do have a better roster. What do you think? Yeah, let's end looking ahead to Jets Packers. 100%. This Green Bay team is incomplete. Again, they got Romeo Doubs, a very intriguing youngster. But really, again, they got a lot of Garbaggio at wide receiver. Their tight end is fine and Robert Tonyan, but he's not spectacular in any way. Their running game is dynamic, no question about it. 1-2 tandem with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, so you're going to have to kind of watch that. And Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, so obviously he can always make special things happen. He's a really talented quarterback. But to be honest with you, their defense could cause some problems, potentially there. But what I would try to do with the Jets is run the football, certainly. They got an all-pro out there. Obviously, Jair Alexander is spectacular. Although he threw a little shade at the Jets. We'll have more on that later this week. And, again, some bulletin board material. They keep just handing it to the Jets on a silver platter. But overall, better roster? Yes. Better skill players, no question about it. They got a lot of talent on defense. But, again, I think the Jets could very well be 4-2. It's not out of the question. We'll see what the opening line ends up being. Packers and Lambeau, I'm sure they're going to be a favorite. I would imagine somewhere in the 4.5 to 6.5 ballpark off the top of my head. My betting expertise on that line, and maybe it's a little more because they're the Green Bay Packers and they'll get the benefit of the doubt, but we'll see. So I think it's between 4.5 and 6.5. That's my guess. But yeah, the Jets can 100% win. The New England Patriots almost did with their third string quarterback. So yeah, anything's possible. Brennan on Facebook, Zach Wilson, no turnovers, took care of the ball. That's what you love to see. And really, I don't remember any turnover-worthy plays. I think he was just efficient. There's a couple of drops in there. But yeah, I think he just took care of the ball, which is what you want to see. That's good progress. And Loa Kilo, subs and dubs, you guys. Appreciate it. Subs and dubs. Appreciate it. Yeah, send all that support, baby. That makes the world go round. I love it. Miguel. Players are playing well because they're playing as a team. Good team win. Yeah. Team game, man. No I in team. I love it. It was spectacular. It was great to see. It's great to see all these guys kind of working together. Ronald Perry, in case you guys missed it, we'll have an article out in a little bit on this, but Jermaine Johnson, you may have missed it. It wasn't, part of the television broadcast, but Jermaine Johnson hurt his leg. Specifically, it ends up being his ankle. He had to be carted to the locker room. Did not look good. He was wearing a walking boot in the locker room after the game. He tweeted out that he's fine. Robert Saleh said, we'll give you guys an update tomorrow on it. So we'll get that Robert Saleh presser, and we'll be back on live here on Heavy on Jets with Jets insider Will Parkinson. So we'll have some more details for you then. We're going to get an update at that point. But Jermaine Johnson, according to the CBS broadcast, was, quote, walking with a heavy limp and, quote, very distraught. Those are direct quotes from the CBS television broadcast on the injury. We will see. Jermaine Johnson was saying good things on Twitter, but he could just be being positive in terms of that. So that is TBD. That is TBD. We have good depth on the defensive line, but you never want to lose that. Ronald Perry. Barrios is a G love, that pickup. 100%. He's a G. Wow, he just rallies the guys. This is why that every time you make a signing or an addition or what have you, that it's not necessarily about the dollars. Like DJ Reed, 3 years, $33 million. Yeah, he's really good. Or Carl Lawson, $45 million. Like, okay, sometimes you got to pay to get what you get. But sometimes, like, Barrios is 2 years, $12 million. And guess what? Sometimes it's about the key locker room guy, and I thought it was important to bring him back despite all the other additions that's happening to this team. I thought that was really, really special from that standpoint. And let's end on that. Jinpak, Mets turn to win now. Come on, Mets, go handle business. My radio partner on the radio show is a New York Mets fan, so you know what? Get the win for him. Take care of some business. # move on. Great night, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you, Abe Lab, for the $50 super chat, the biggest one in Boy Green history. So, guys, you can feel free to try to top that in future live streams. I'd appreciate it, and so would the family. I will tell you guys this will be back on the live stream tomorrow with Jets insider Will Parkinson. Plan for the early afternoon. Normally, Robert Saleh speaks around 3:15, so we will be there shortly after that. Again, live streaming here on the Heavy on Jets Facebook page, my YouTube channel, and on Twitter as well, everybody. So we'll be back here after Robert Saleh and start to turn the page. And guess what, Aaron Rodgers? You're next, pal. We're coming for you. But before we get to all that, let's enjoy a proper and juicy Victory Monday. Good night, everybody. Enjoy your Victory Monday. We're 3-2, 1-0 in the division, and it's time for the good times to keep on rolling We loved having you here. And again, guys, we will see you on the channel tomorrow. Until then, peace out, everybody. Go Jets.